The Israeli Defense Forces, the IDF, have not confirmed that they were targeting the Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah, but they have confirmed they were targeting Hezbollah's headquarters, which they say Hezbollah intentionally embedded under residential buildings in Beirut. This was a massive strike. We've not seen anything like this in the current conflict between Hezbollah and Israel. Bunker buster bombs being used. These are a type of bombs which can actually penetrate into fortified structures even when they're underground. What I can also tell you tonight is that the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has brought forward his return from the US. We had expected him back in Israel on Sunday. He'll be leaving the US tonight. It's not entirely surprising. It's logical given the circumstances, but also given his explosive speech at the UN when he said that Hezbollah had to be defeated in order to allow Israeli citizens security in the north of Israel. The question, of course, here tonight is what will Hezbollah's response be to this massive attack in the south of Beirut?
Militarily, Claire, given that there had been a conversation earlier, particularly from world leaders at the UN, calling on Benjamin Netanyahu to bring about this 21-day ceasefire that was planned by the French and the US earlier this week, the rhetoric seems to be being overtaken by events on the ground. But are you hearing any signs that there could be a ground offensive? What's the latest that military sources are saying there?
Well, just to give you some information that we've had recently, the Pentagon spokesperson has said that the US was not informed in advance of this attack. Indeed, the US Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin found out about it as it was happening when he was speaking on the phone to the Israeli Defense Secretary Yoav Gallant. So the US, according to the Pentagon, did not know in advance about this attack. When it comes to a possible ground offensive, well, we know that the IDF, the Israeli Defense Forces, they said they have positioned troops in the north in combat positions. And we've heard the IDF Chief of Staff saying that his forces are at a high point of readiness on the offense, but also on the defense. Of course, the ground operation, though, is a whole different story. Israel has superiority in the air, but on the ground is a different story. And if Israel were to launch a ground offensive into southern Lebanon, of course, they would be going on to Hezbollah territory, and Hezbollah would have, to an extent, the upper hand as the defenders. So it's a different story on the ground to the air.